You know, no, not in a basement, but you have to meet people where they are, you know? You just gotta meet them where they are. Hey, guys!
Alright, straight West Coast, cuz. Hey.
Welcome.
Good to see you, brother.
Certified basement. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate
It's nice. You did nice things with the place.
What's up? It's your boys in the building.
That's right, you know what I'm saying?
Nothing but illustrious guests.
And we continuing the trend with Ava DuVernay.
Illustrious guest.
Illustrious
That's nice.
guests. You're from Compton.
Yeah.
Compton in the house.
You know what I'm saying? Compton.
How much of being raised in Compton comes through in your filmmaking?
I just think it's about living in a place where you're unseen. You know what I mean? That's why the loss of John Singleton was such a big one.
Rest in peace.
Because, yeah, rest in peace. Because, you know, we're a small tribe out there, black filmmakers, and a lot of us. You can really count us on a couple hands. But I remember watching Boys in the Hood and just seeing people who look like my homies for the first time, like as the main character, not the guy that's gonna just come up on the side.
Like, that's whack.
Yeah.
And then just disappear.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like full characters with mothers and homes, and you got to see the inside of the house. Being from that place, I'm trying to tell those stories, or stories that mean something to that community more than anybody else.
Yeah, growing up, it was watching Boys in the Hood was weird to us because we from the Bronx. We had
Is
never
it that
seen.
different?
That's
There's some things that are very West Coast in it.
There's some things, but it was so similar. To like
Drive-bys was like, we were like
Drive-by.
drive-bys. Like, we
yeah,
were
here we have like
walk-bys. Yeah, like we just walk up like, pow, pow, all right, peace.
Now, your movie about the Central Park Five.
Yes.
What made you make it?
The lives of, you know, black and brown people, and just really digging into things that I think people should know, us as people of color, but also just the wider world. But more so, this was just such an injustice that was done to these five, and I don't think people really know the story. People don't know what really happened then, and people certainly don't know what happened 30 years after to them. Post-incarceration, all the things they can't do, all the ways they can't move. They've served their time,
Right.
but still we keep them shackled.
Like, you can't
and that's
vote, shit
millions
like
and
that.
millions of people, and overwhelmingly those people are us. They're people of color.
Yeah, that is weird. And then it's like, not only that, I remember when Trump had the advertisement in the newspaper calling for the death penalty of like the
Yeah,
Central
he had a
Park
whole
Five.
page and that shit. I don't know if I made it out to the West Coast. Like,
Yeah, no, multiple newspapers here in town.
Right.
He only did it here, but he did all the newspapers. It was only 2 weeks after the boys were arrested. He called for their death. It was before their trial, before anything. He just
they were kids.
they were 14 and 15 and
You know what
16.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
wild. Like,
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we always comment on. Like, people voted for this dude, and I'm like, yo, do you know who this dude is? Like, we're New Yorkers, so we have a very close lens on Donald Trump, like from the '80s up until now. And it's like, yo, this dude's been an asshole.
Right.
Like, you know, this dude is an asshole.
Right.
Like, there's documentation. There's receipts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
It didn't
started
matter.
with the Central Park
It
Five
seems
stuff.
like now nothing matters. with
Nothing
them.
matters at all.
Nothing sticks. Nothing matters.
It's
I
scary.
just, it's like a horror story, really.
It's kind of terrifying.
For all the young, ambitious women of color out there who want to be in your position, what is something that you can tell to somebody who's coming up who has no experience in the game?
Well, one thing I would say, I always tell people is there's more jobs than the actor and the director.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if I had known about all the other jobs, I probably wouldn't have been a director. Anything that you could imagine that you're interested in, you can do that for film and TV.
You know what's funny? I'm really obsessed with like the people that put down the gaff tape.
There's all kinds of things. Like, there's a job called scenic painter, which they basically, you had a scenic painter for this, okay? They come down and, did you do all this?
Yeah.
You did all this? You're a scenic painter?
Nah, he's
Wow.
a graffiti artist, and he also did like turn on the ventilation. We almost died while he was spray painting. But
Oh,
that's
wow.
what he did,
Really?
yeah.
You did this thing? This is actually really impressive.
Well,
But
that
it-
not the
No, no,
problematic
you
stuff.
You didn't do the porn over here?
No, that
no,
porn-
no,
that
okay,
was it
copy that. I
before.
was gonna say, you know.
graffiti area over here.
Can't just be
I'm
inviting
rolling with,
women
you
on
gotta
here.
meet people where they are. This where you are, I wanna come sit with you here and talk to you about yourself, but that's okay. You don't have to go to film school, you don't have to be a great writer or actress or whatever, but you can be a part of our industry and you can help tell stories that matter. Study the industry and find something that might work for you.
You make very serious movies. Have you ever thought about making something lighter like Soul Pain 2?
Soul Plane 2 was offered to me.
Or like, who's
No,
the
I'm
man?
kidding.
I was like,
Tell more.
Tell me more. How do we get to this?
Or a Who's the Man reboot with like
Who's the
two
man?
young...
What's Who's the Man?
That back in the day was
Method Man?
No, Ed Lover and Dr. Dre.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they
You
were
guys could do
cops.
it. I think you guys could do something else, though. I think you guys could do
What would
something
you
else.
see for us?
I don't know. I think you guys could do.
Martin Luther King and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X in a buddy cop comedy.
You guys could do that. I could do that.
You're not gonna direct that for us?
That was good. I could do that. I would do that. I would do that. No, I see it, Lauren, like a Friday.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Like a. Anybody wanna help?
Hello?
Okay. Yeah,
Just call it Thursday.
something like that.
Yeah.
Also,
Something
you
like
were what is the proper term for somebody who gets other rich people to pay for a film to be made?
I don't know.
But you did that. You coordinated like people to finance films and shit like that.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
yeah,
like, yo,
I did.
like,
Yeah, I have
did
a
my homework. I was
distribution
just
company.
like,
Distribution. Okay.
Distribution.
Yes,
There you go.
yes,
All right.
That's the industry word.
That's the industry word.
What you were saying was just like some loan shark shit.
Like,
I
yo,
was like, damn, I
let
don't
me
want
go
to
10
implicate
racks. I'm gonna give it
myself.
back
It's
to
like,
you.
yo,
Right.
it was Ava's money, right? You like which hand you write with?
She said 25% interest, motherfucker.
This nigga at home watching the box office. He's like,
Oh shit!
we in trouble.
We gotta break a bill.
come on, we're doing time. Come on, we're doing time.
Yes, I have a distribution company called Array. Yeah, we distribute films by people of color and women that other people wouldn't. So we put them out, and just making sure that filmmakers have a chance to connect with audiences. A lot of Black and Brown communities don't have movie theaters in their community. You guys are in New York, so we're everywhere.
Actually, we don't have enough in New
But there's
York,
no movie theaters in Compton. There's not one movie theater
Zero?
in Compton. No. I'm in a movie called Selma. It's a 90% Black area. No movie theaters there either.
There's no Magic Johnson Theater?
In Compton?
Yeah.
No.
That's
You're thinking of South Central. That's a whole different place.
Yeah, we do not know California.
Y'all need to come out to Cali.
Listen,
come out, but
We
we're
come out.
just learning. Cause
And
like,
where you guys stay? You
it
be in the.
depends.
I don't even know.
You
We
need to
went
really
there
get a
last
real
time.
tour. No, you really should.
So maybe we can do that. Make a film piece. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
But
do it.
nah, it's really, we went out there and we were staying in Pasadena.
yeah.
What?
And we were for like the
Pasadena?
TV critics.
You
Yeah.
gotta do something there.
The
And then,
TCAs, and then we were like,
No
oh,
disrespect to Pasadena. I'm gonna have tweets from Pasadena, but
Yeah.
Pasadena.
Yeah, because it was like that's where the TCA,
The TCA
thing
was.
Yeah.
So we went there.
But
and we were
it's
like,
a
oh, we're just-
sprawling place. It's like if I
Exactly.
landed in New York and I just went to Times Square. That's what y'all are doing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I've been to New York. You know that's not the real New York.
we've been
The
around
same
some
with
places in
Cali.
California, but it's just like California's so big.
Yeah.
And then
It is.
we'll go to like San Francisco, and people are like, nah, you gotta go to Oakland. So then we'll go to Oakland.
Exactly.
People's like, yo, you gotta come up here, and it's
Right,
like,
right.
And then we don't know, so I'm just like, oh, we in LA. All right,
Yo, let's hop
let's
on
drive
Uber.
to San Francisco tomorrow. They're like, no,
No.
that's not how it works
5.5
at all.
hours.
Like,
No, you can't do it.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, next time
Even when
call
you're
me.
coming in on a plane and you look down, you start to see the cars, and it's just mad brake lights.
Yeah, no.
You just see brake lights for like 28
That's
miles.
what we do. Traffic. It's
You're the
wonderful.
first Black woman to have $100 million budget for a film, but they said you are still frugal in the streets. You love the 99-cent stores?
Frugal in the streets. You can be a lot of things in the streets.
Yes.
Most people don't have pride in being frugal in the streets.
No, we're immigrant children, so
yeah.
You are?
any type
Thank
of
you
savings.
for recognizing.
Oh, man.
Any type of
Yes.
savings.
All
It's
day.
like, yes.
Frugal in
I
the
call my
streets.
mom when I use a coupon. Like, yo, guess what, man?
She's like, I felt it.
Yeah, I got these Lysol wipes for $2 off.
Oh, bendito.
I love the 99-cent store.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love the 99-cent because you go in and you're just like,
Yo, you
I'm
get
about
so
to
much
do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can really do
Rack
this.
up, you leave with like
You
two bags,
yes.
it's like $10.
Yeah, and nothing lasts for more than 2 days. It's gonna break, but
It was $1.
I don't know. I just get a little feeling. I really, really love it.
If you weren't making films right now, what would you be doing?
I was a publicist for movies, so I would publicize the overall film or TV shows.
You might not like being our publicist. Shout out to our publicist, you know what I'm saying? Who's
Not even here today.
constantly having panic attacks.
Yeah.
I could handle you both. Yeah, I could handle you both. I'd have you in the palm of my hand. I think
You'd be like, yo, Meryl, get the fuck off Twitter right now. Get the fuck off Twitter right now. You cannot say that to that person on Twitter. Stop.
Boom. Ava, thanks for sitting down with us. We could do this forever. We could
right.
just talk to you for 4 hours. We know you're a very busy woman. So we want to end the interview the same way we always do. What would your neon sign say?
my neon sign would say, "Live without permission."
That's right,
That's how she lives.
Feel me,
Look what
cuz?
took her.
You know.
See?
LA and the motherfucker, cuz.
Yo, when they see us, here's on Netflix tomorrow.
When they see us.
May 31st,
You know what I'm
4-part series. Watch all 4 parts.
It's a mini series, you know
All
what I'm
right.
saying? But it's max, it's major.